What's up, guys? Long time no talk. It's been a grip, bro. It's been like a whole week since I haven't posted here. Sorry, I'm just gonna set up. Damn. This has been the longest that I haven't posted on YouTube since I started posting on YouTube, I think. No particular reason. I've been busy, obviously, but it's not, I was busy the whole time. I was posting them every day. I feel like I don't really have anything too exciting to talk about right now because, as some of you know, I have a big event coming up for my business, which is what I'm pretty much putting all my effort into. Like, dude, I'm just spending, hours on, specific emails, just breaking shit apart to make sure it's as good as it could be, just really dialing in on the specifics and it's where all my energy is going. So nothing too exciting or too crazy is popping up that's really making me want to get on here and talk about it. And when kind of all your energy's towards something specific, it's hard to just think of things, maybe lessons and stuff to just come on here and talk. I don't know. But yeah, the only reason I haven't been posting every day is just because I feel like I really don't have anything to talk about every single day. I mean, I could, but it would just be a lower quality video and stuff like that. And I would like to come on here with stuff that can actually maybe provide some value and be interesting, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't even watch my own videos, so I don't know. But I guess one thing I want to talk about today. Damn, I just kicked that thing. So I was watching. For those of you who know Andy Frisella, I'm a big Andy Frisella guy. I watch all his podcasts and stuff. But I was rewatching one or listening to one. I just toss it on in the background when I'm working, and I was listening to one with Tim Grover. So for those of you who don't know who Tim Grover is, Tim Grover, he was one of the greatest athlete, mental coaches, etc. of all time. He coached Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, stuff like that. I don't know too many specifics about exactly what he does, but I've listened to this podcast with him and Andy Frisella. This is probably my third or fourth time that I've listened to it, and just the combination of listening to it and experiences I've had in the past couple days, it's I kind of came to the realization that bro, the people that are at that level of entrepreneurship or that level of athlete or that level of musician, whatever, if you're great, really great at something, there's obviously a different mindset that comes with it. But it's just you kind of start to see the world differently, completely. And I'm nowhere near great, but I do strongly believe that I'm on the path to greatness. And I've kind of adapted that mental frame just from listening to these people. I see the world completely differently than I did a year ago. And my view on the world's always developing. I was kind of thinking about this last night. My sister's having whatever. My sister's a junior in high school, and she's having some junior in high school drama, whatever. And my mom was talking to me. My mom was all stressed about it. She's oh my gosh, she's gonna be okay and stuff like that. I'm what do you mean? This is so irrelevant. Just forget about it and move on. It's okay. But I know that me in junior year of high school, I probably would have had the same kind of issue. When you change that mindset, you don't the little things don't matter anymore. You're not really concerned about what other people think of you. You're not really concerned about external factors. You just put it in the past and you get on with what you're doing because you're so focused and immersed in what you're doing and what you're doing to move the needle forward and improve yourself, that you're not going to let some mishap in your personal life affect what you're pursuing, which is not the case for 99% of people, grown adults even. But with winners, with high-level entrepreneurs, high-level athletes, etc., high-level anything, you really see that they don't let that affect them at all, not even a little bit. The little stuff does not matter to them. They push forward just through everything. And most people can't understand that. Most people love taking breaks. Most people love using things as reasons to not do stuff. Another thing we were talking about was we have a close family friend who my mom was saying she sells like baked goods or something, kind of like, I don't know if it's a side hustle or a main job, but she makes money. And she was like, but that person's just had a close family member pass away. And Mom was like, yeah, I think she's kind of fallen off with that though, with everything up in the air. And I understand that, but from how I see it, if that happened to me, I would just be going 10 times harder, because that's how I think. I would just be like, all right, I don't want to focus on this negative stuff, right? I want to try to block out as much, like, all this, like, emotions and, like, missing the person and stuff like that. I would just use that energy towards going 10 times harder, just because I know that that'll keep me in a more positive state of mind and not really thinking about it. Because if you just, like, wallow in, like, the sadness and the emotions, like, that's not, winners don't do that. Like, sure, it's gonna be hard. You'll have breakdown moment, like, in a scenario like this, you'll, like, have moments where you break down, but, like, so many people just accept that, where it's like something hard hits you, like, in your personal life, and you stop, like, everything just comes to an end. You slow down, and you're just like, it knocks you off the track. But if you have, like, the right mindset, if anything, that should just extend you forward. Like, I know for me, like, anytime I have, like, something challenging or something frustrating or something sad happen in my personal life, that energy immediately, like, I've learned to just move that energy straight into productive action, where it's like I don't have that feeling of anxiety or sadness just sitting inside of me, because I'm using it to create inputs. And from what I've observed, that's what people at a high level do. So why would I not want to do that? Because that's where I want to go. So I'm just going to follow what the people who I know are winning do. And, like, it's crazy. Like, the more that I go down this path of entrepreneurship and just being different than most people, it's like I just realized, like, how, not only how immature most people are, but just how much of a flawed perception of reality they have. It's just like they don't get it. Most people cannot think past the short term. And most people only see the short term, and they think that that's going to be the long term, right? What I mean by this is, like, the amount of money I'm making right now, which is good compared to how long I've been doing this. But people see that, and they're like, okay, like, you're just like one of us. Like, you're just like the average teenager who has a minimum wage job, etc. Even though I make a little bit, definitely a little bit more than minimum, whatever. That's a bad comparison. But, like, they see that, and they think that's where entrepreneurship is going to keep me for the rest of my life, right? Like, no, this is building a foundation for something that's going to be 200 times, 200 times bigger in 5-10 years. But most people can't, like, hold that frame of long term and of what actually building something is. Like, it's just, everyone can be an entrepreneur, right? Everyone can take control of their life and, like, change it. But a lot of people, like, I feel like there's, like, even a lot of entrepreneurs and people that are on the same path as me that I know don't even have the same, like, I can just tell they don't have the same mental framework as I do, because I'm very, like, I'm very specific about everything I do. Like, I'm not going to let something knock me on my path. Like, I'm just always moving forward regardless of the external circumstances, when a lot of people just, like, sure, they're winners, but they'll let things get to them. They'll let things soften them up. They'll let things lower their desire and just slow them down. And, like, I can just tell from, like, certain interactions and certain decisions people that are around me have made, that they don't have that same, like, when I'm talking about the winner's mindset, I'm talking about, like, the top, like, Alex Hormozi, Ed Milet, Andy Frisella, like, because that's who I want to be. That's what I want to emulate. So that's what I practice on a day-to-day basis. And most people can get really far and really win and not have that mindset. But I think that, like, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but I just, like, the more that I get into this, I just, like, realize, like, how different. Every single thing, every single situation I'm interpreting, every single decision I make is from the people around me, like how foreign it is. Like even my parents, even my closest friends, like they just don't, like no matter how much they think they understand, they don't understand what's going on in my brain right now. And honestly, a lot of you probably don't even understand unless you feel like you can relate to something like this. Because when I watch guys like Andy Frisella and Alex Hormozi talk, I can relate to exactly how they're feeling. Like they don't have an off switch really. And the one thing that Tim Grover was talking about in that podcast was he was saying like everyone in this room at one point has chosen easy over winning, but most people choose easy over winning all the time, like on a day, like multiple times throughout the day. And I guess like just to wrap this up, like if you can just be consistent, bro, like that's gonna, most people cannot do it. Like most people will fall off at some point. And I've built up such a, like, I'm far from perfect. There have been a lot of days where I haven't worked to my full capacity. There have been a lot of days where I've kind of slacked. But every single day, I do something. I do something that pushes my business forward. I do something that pushes myself forward. And most people can't do that. Most people go hard and heavy for like a week, a couple weeks, maybe even a month, maybe 3 months, and they'll fall off. I see this all the time with all the people around me. Like, being able to stick with something for a prolonged period of time that's what builds this mindset. This, along with, like providing yourself the evidence, like my wall full of powerless back here. I have a post one of my very early posts. It's called "Give Yourself the Evidence," and that kind of talks about how you build that confidence in yourself. You build that self-belief that you can do hard things because you do hard things on a daily basis, and you have proof for yourself. But like most people just can't stick with something. They can't stick with something. I think that's a big reason that I've been able to develop the mindset that's so different from so many people that I'm around. Because I stick with it. I learn more every day. I consistently increase my ability to work. I consistently change things. I iterate, I evaluate, and I make sure I'm always moving forward. Along with listening to those guys who are at the top level, I'm very happy with, like, if I lose everything today, I have this mindset, and I can't even fully describe it. I can't give the greatest examples. And there are a lot of people that will say this, will be like, I have such a different mindset, but they don't show it in their day-to-day life. They don't live that mindset. And I can confidently say that where I'm at right now, I live that. I believe that I live that on a day-to-day basis. And it has changed how I approach social situations, changed how I approach professional situations, tough situations, just everything. Like everything about my life has changed because of that one thing, like the mindset. And it's constantly developing. I'm getting a little sick. It's getting challenging for me to talk. But like it's just you can't explain it until you have it. Like it's so people can't even comprehend it. People can't comprehend it because it's so different than like our world today is so accepting of mediocrity, and people just don't understand that what it feels like to win, what the mental framework is to win. And like I said, I'm not even winning. I'm not even really crazy winning right now on any scale. But from what I've been able to build so far and what I've been able to build in here too, and what I've learned from the people that are at that top level, like I feel like I'm on a very good path mentally. And just from seeing overall like how different the people around me think, I'm like, that's just reassurance that I'm doing something right. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know if I just said a whole lot of nothing or a whole lot of good stuff, but 14-minute yap fest, so I'll catch you guys.